Okay, what'd you see? Well, how do you think that affected Hal? This is Dad, Reverend Larson. It's all right here in the good book, son. Did that affect the kid in any way? Because if you watch the rest of the movie, that's exactly what he did. He didn't settle for average women. He was very critical of women and their bodies and, just their breasts, their thighs, whatever. He was very, very critical. That's all he was focused on. But see, there's this thing called imprinting. Who knows what imprinting is?
It's like leaving your mark somewhere.
You're exactly right. Give me more.
Like rubbing off on something.
Okay. Where imprinting, what I'm talking about is like psychologically, there's like when birds are hatched. What's imprinting? You ever seen this? You ever heard about this? Usually when a bird hatches, like ducklings and things like this, when they hatch and they come out of the egg, the first thing they see, they imprint upon that thing. And it becomes their mom. It's like they come out of the eggshell and the first thing they see, Mom! And it could be a dog, it could be a cow, it could be a person. It doesn't have to be the mama, but they see it and they're imprinted for the rest of their life on that thing. This is, what's this have to do with sex? This is absolutely fundamental that you understand this.
Because he looked up so much to his dad that even though his dad was giving him bad advice, he took his gold.
How does sex imprint? Go ahead.
So like you go ahead and you lose your virginity, and now that's what you think real love is, and
That's not bad.
that's what you think sex is.
That becomes your frame of reference. And so what God did, God created sex, and God created sex in such a way, sex marries you. I'll prove that here when we get to the next section on anatomies. Why are they designed like that? Because it's all marriage based. That's the whole point. So God created sex to be so powerful that it actually binds you and you imprint. And here's the problem right here, if I had to sum this up. What was supposed to happen, particularly men, what was supposed to happen, you were supposed to be taught to imprint upon the girl. And so you imprint upon the girl, and then the sex just draws you closer to the girl. What happened, most men that I deal with and minister to, most men imprinted only on the act. And then that just set them up, like you said, that becomes a frame of reference. It's just an act. And they have to relearn, it's not about the act, because that's all you ever knew. It's about the girl, and then you have to relearn to imprint on the girl. So whatever your first sexual experiences generally are the things that you imprint upon, and that kind of sets the tone for your sexual history, your sexual record. Does that make sense? Right? Okay, that's some heavy stuff. Check this out. I told you there's going to be tons of scriptures up here. We can't turn to all of them, but we know in Genesis 2:24 it says the two shall become one. Okay, we definitely have to read these two. These are our foundational texts. Everybody go to Genesis 1. Look left and right, help your neighbor very quickly. Genesis chapter 1. This is our foundational text right here. Christopher, you got that? Mm-hmm. Good man. This is the Word of God. I don't know where all of you are with your relationship with God. It really doesn't matter right now at this moment. But I'm here to tell you that God is real, that Bible is real, His Son is real, sin is real, heaven and hell are real. All right? And sexual sin is real. And there's consequences to our sexual sins, which was what all this is about. And so just leave it at that and we'll proceed. If you have questions, indeed, raise your hand. Okay, so everybody there, Genesis 1, verse 26, 27, and 28. Nice and loud, please.
And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have domain over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle and all the earth, and over the creeping that crept upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have domain over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
Okay. Bottom line, what it's saying right there, everybody look at me for a second. What it's telling, God is instructing mankind right here. He's saying, multiply. He's saying, have sex, multiply, be fruitful and multiply, and rule well, have dominion. They're mutually exclusive. To be able to rule well and to have dominion and to multiply, whether or not you're going to rule well in this life is directly related to your sexual discipline. Whether if your sexual history and record is not intact, you're not going to rule well. We've had everyone in the brig from E1s to O6s, their sexuality was not intact and they lost their careers, they lost their marriages. So it's just a matter of time. And this is why one of the most important things is, and I'll explain this as we go along, your sexuality has to be intact. It has to be whole, because if it's compromised, it's setting you up for failure, and it's setting your marriage up for failure in the future. And it will set your kids up for failure too. Turn to somebody and say, he's talking to you. Turn to someone else and say, he's talking to you too. So do you think this is important? Get your sexuality right? Watch this. Show of hands, who in here knows that you messed things up sexually already? If your hand isn't up, you're an idiot. I promise you, you have. You just don't know you have. I had a young man years ago, he was up at the chapel, we were teaching this in the chapel, and he would not raise his hand. He said, no, I don't have a problem with sex. He said, I'm a virgin. This is a little Pharisee. He said, I'm a virgin. And I said, so you've never masturbated? He said, nope. I said, okay, you want to go there? Can you honestly tell us in the group right now that the Holy Spirit bear you witness that you've never lusted after a woman? He couldn't do it. He had to admit, yeah, I've lusted after women. And shut up. Why are you going to play with me like this? Well, you think you're superior? I promise you, your sexual sins, they're nasty. And part of this is about being exposed where we are sexually, ignorantly, and the damage that we've already caused, and acknowledging I've caused damage. And it should bring you to some point of brokenness and just realize, God, I'm sorry, I repent. God, unless you change me, I'm going to mess things up in the future. All right? So here we go. It says multiply and rule well. Everybody go to 1 Thessalonians 4. Look left and right, help your neighbors. That's okay, where you at? What's that say? All the T's are together. What's that say? Go back some. No, the other way. Just too much, way too much.
No, keep going.
What's it?
You start seeing light.
I know. You passed it already.
Oh, yeah.
You passed it.
What's that say?
Peter?
Bag.
I don't think I've ever been to Thessalonica. I'm not gonna lie.
This is all the T's are together. You're terrible, man.
Get over there.
Do you have it? Okay, I want you to read that. First Thessalonians, chapter 4, verses 3 and 4. Who else are we waiting on? No problem. Good. That's why I need you guys to look left and right, help your people out. Okay, Reginald, nice and loud, please.
It is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable.
You hear this? It says, this is the will of God. Everybody look at me. In the scriptures, it says right here, this is the will of God, that you, turn to somebody, say you. He says that you should abstain from all fornication, that you should be able to possess and control your body in a way that's holy and honorable and pleasing to God. And so all of us have missed this. I know we have. All right, so again, this is foundational. So he says, I told you sex and dominion are mutual. And he says, multiply and rule well. And this says, the will of God is that you should abstain from fornication, and you would be in possession and discipline your own body in a way that's holy and honorable. Okay, so here's the bottom line for the classes. Well, I'm going to fly through this information. I could probably spend 10 hours doing all this stuff. I've done it before. But I've been praying over the last couple of days, I just want to bottom line this for you. All right? So the first thing we're going to do, part 1, is going to be a sex test. I told you 16 questions. They're all curveballs. The next session, we're going to do sex in our anatomies. What does that mean? The female body, the male body, and why they're designed that way, and what the Bible says about that. Sex on our soul. Everybody put your finger on your heart. Quickly, put your finger on your heart. That's your heart. That's the soul right there. That thing right there, that's just an organ pumping blood. Right? It's just an organ in your body. When we talk about your heart, more often than not, the Bible, when it talks about your heart, is talking about the seat of reasoning, your soul. Okay? So what is the effect of sex on this? And then sex in our spirit. What? That's a thing? Yep. And how do we get it right? Sex in our restoration. All right? We ready? Okay. Who knows the story about Samson and Delilah? Good. What happened? Come on. We got to fly.
So Samson met this Philistine girl.
Samson was a hoe.
He was a hoe.
Let's just make it plain. He was a hoe. And what was Samson called to do? What was special about Samson?
He was given
Strength.
Supernatural Holy Ghost strength. And he was undefeated. I mean, how many people did he kill? How many Philistines did he kill with the jawbone? Was it 10,000?
Yeah,
It was like 10,000 with the jawbone of a donkey. Anybody got that under their belt on their resume? So he had this supernatural gifting and anointing and calling to be a judge over Israel, but he was a hoe. What does that mean?
he was for the
Where's the proof?
for the streets. In the blood.
It was all time and time again. He was sleeping with women, and they weren't from his tribe. He'd go to these strange women, non-Hebrew women, and he'd sleep around. He had a thing for these women, these Canaanite women. He had a thing for them. And then what happened? Who did he run into? Oh Lord, he ran into Delilah. And who's Delilah?
She slept with him to find his weakness.
She was hired. She was hired to find the source of his strength, because the Philistines wanted to overcome Samson. And Samson, you read this whole thing in Judges 16. You read the whole thing, and she kept playing him. She played him like a harp. And she said, "Do you love me? Do you love me?" He said, "Yeah, I love you, girl." "Yeah, you know I love you, girl. Ride for life, all that." No, because she said, "Well, tell me the secret of your strength." And then if you pay very close attention, each time he said the source of his strength, he was getting closer and closer and closer. He told her 3 times. He lied to her 3 times. And all 3 times, the first time, he said something about if you tied me up with ropes that have never been used before. I think that's what it was. And then when he's tied up and he falls asleep in her lap, she had plotted for the Philistines to jump out of the closet and take him because she thought he was weak. And she said, she pretended, "Samson, Samson, the Philistines are upon us." Ah. And the Philistines jump out of the closet, and Samson wakes up and he breaks all the new ropes. Wasn't nothing to him, and he whips her tails and send them out running. So she says, "Why'd you lie to me?" That's not the question I'd be having if I was Samson. Why'd you tell them? Why am I tied up like this after I told you?
Right after.
And then the next one, he said something about, I think his hair. If his hair was tied up with something, put some. Maybe I could be wrong, but then the third time it was, if you put these weave in my hair. And so he'd get closer and closer to his strength. And each time, "Samson, the Philistines," and he'd get up and he'd whip some tail. But he was stupid. He was stupid. Kind of like, when we meet a girl, we start losing our judgment. I didn't say nothing. What? But when we fall in love and we find a girl, we don't think right anymore. So many young knucklehead guys do this. You know what I'm talking. Every one of you guys do this. Girl shows. I had a guy. Dude, I got in trouble. I got in so much trouble, and I was not a Christian back in '86. I was down on Kinzer as a corporal, and I'm standing outside the first sergeant's office. We had a female first sergeant. Her name was Lippolis, First Sergeant Lippolis, and she was mean. And so I'm standing at attention just outside her hatch because I'm getting ready to go in and get my office hours read to me, my charges read to me. And she was in there yelling at a Lance Corporal in there, and the conversation went something like this. "I love her, First Sergeant." And the First Sergeant yelled at him back, "She's a bar girl. She's different, First Sergeant. First sergeant says, I am not signing this allotment to a bar girl. He says, you can't stop me from giving her my money, First Sergeant. I love her. Get out of my office. I'm giving her my money. He goes, this happens a lot with, well, I don't know why you're laughing. Because guys, this is how we are. And so what I'm getting at, the last time you look at it closely, I think it's at the Judges 16, right around verse 16. It says, she vexed his soul. I know it's somewhere in there. Delilah vexed his soul. What does it mean to vex? That's like a curse. It's almost like witchcraft. And she was just pouting. Well, how come you don't tell me? How come you never tell me? Oh, you don't love me. Yeah. And she's driving him crazy. And he finally said, okay, woman, it's my hair. If I ever cut my hair, I will lose my strength. And got him. And then she cut his hair. Philistines jumped out. And if you read that closely, Samson said, when he woke up, he said, not a big deal. I'm just going to, whip some tail like I've always whipped some tail. And he says he did not know that the Holy Spirit had left him. That's how blind we become with sexual faults and sins. All right? So that's what all that's talking about. Here we go with the sex test. You ready? Now, some of you, if you know these answers, don't say anything. Some of you, if you know these answers, don't say anything because it's you guys know this is funny. All right, so here we go. First question. What do you know about sex? Teach me about sex. I'll give you some parameters here. Here's I'm a 14-year-old kid. I'm in high school. I'm in love. I have a 14-year-old girlfriend. And we are in love and we're about to have sex. We've never done it. We're both virgins, but we're going to do it. Best advice. Say that again. I got to write this down.
Use a condom.
Use a condom. Why would I use a condom? Huh?
Yeah, so she doesn't get pregnant.
Okay, use a condom so she does not get pregnant. Okay, I can take that. Boom. What else?
It's not love.
Huh?
It's not love.
What do you mean it's not love? How do you know? You don't know what I feel for each other. How do you know? Did you? Did you wait? Hypocrite. Best advice.
That you don't know as much about it as you think. And
I know. That's exactly why I'm asking you how to do it.
Okay, but so first off,
Okay.
God is saying that you should.
We prayed and God said do it.
He did not. I promise you.
Uh,
I promise you. Well, I mean, look at 1 Thessalonians 4:3-4. And okay, additionally, looking outside of the Bible, like, are you old enough? Are you ready? Are you financially stable to raise a child?
We're not trying to have a child.
Whether you like it or not, like, babies are made through sex.
Look,
So,
we're not trying to have a baby. We're just trying to have sex. Are you going to help or not?
you know how many people are a happy little surprise?
We'll take our chances.
He used double
Yeah, we'll use two.
Yeah.
What else? Best advice. Come on. We got to roll.
Yeah, use a condom so you don't get STD.
Condom, avoid STDs. Yes. Best advice. Birth control? Maybe birth control. Christopher, best advice.
I would say don't do it, but
Did you wait?
no, I didn't. Right?
Okay, so why are you trying to slow my roll down? What's up?
Mistakes.
Don't forget to buy the.
Yeah, we're in love. We're not going to make these mistakes.
Don't forget to buy the Plan B.
Plan B pill, the abortion pill, there's all that stuff. Best advice.
Make sure you're committed.
We're freaking committed. We're freshmen in high school. We are totally committed.
That's all I got. Make sure you're committed.
Make sure we're committed. Got it.
Don't leave each other. Don't leave each other after you do it.
Exactly. Oh, thank you. But does anybody got techniques I can use?
What does the Bible say about it?
Huh?
What does the Bible say about it?
Well, we prayed about it. We love each other. So,
Reading.
what's your best advice, Oscar? So you guys ain't giving me any advice. I guess I'm going to have to make this up myself and figure it
The
out.
Bible is pretty plain and simple in what it says about sex.
Did you wait?
I didn't. No, not perfect.
Huh? Yeah, but so I'm not waiting, nerd. Did you say something? This is I get this all the time. This is why I'm. Come on. Take a shower. Somebody said it. Take a shower. That's what I'm talking about. Wait, naked?
Use socks.
Use sauce? What's sauce?
Socks.
Wear socks in the shower?
No, when you're having sex.
Wear socks when we're having sex. 'Cause I don't want my feet to get cold. Wear socks. Anybody else? We had a Marine here said years ago. He said, "You got to spin that record." I said, "What? I never heard this before. I didn't know what that meant." And he said, you know, you moisten your finger and you touch her. I said, "Oh, you fondle her, spin that record." Okay. Oh, wait. I forgot because we got to move on. I forgot. Sorry. I forgot to mention that this 14-year-old girl is your daughter.
What?
So wait, you said it's okay as long as I use a condom and wear socks. Is that okay?
You might
You're
not
14.
get out my house.
You're 14. You said it?
Nah, you're good. You don't need to do it.
14-year-old?
Not anymore.
And so you said a condom and socks. And what did you say? You said just stay committed.
Don't leave her.
So it's okay to have sex with her as long as I don't leave her. It's okay.
Daughter, marry her.
And what did you say?
I meant
You said the shower.
to the shower. Pre to the sex would be like take a shower.
So take a shower with her. Your 14-year-old daughter, it's okay as long as I take a shower with her.
Before you have sex, take a shower.
So okay, so before we have, so it's okay with you is before your 14-year-old daughter to have sex with her as long as you take a shower first. Is that okay with you?
It's gonna happen. I can't stop.
Okay, yeah. See, at this point, you should probably just shut up because you're making it worse. Don't be this stupid. No. See, you see, why did this change all of a sudden?
Now the person, now you're asking.
And when I've asked people, I've sat in conferences and whatnot, and we've had, 1-stars, we've had flag officers and colonels and E9s and whatnot in there, and I'll ask this question: give me your best advice. I'll ask this scenario right here: give me your best advice. And every single time, the E9s and the upper level, they don't ask me because they don't have any answers. The best answers I get is wear a condom, avoid STDs, and avoid pregnancies. That's your best advice. This is horrible. You were trying at least. This is horrible. And you were trying too, Aaron, but these people are going to do it anyway, so you want to lay it on thick with these people. Let them know, boom, 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 this is the problem you're facing. Yeah, I made all the mistakes. I don't think anybody got that one right, did they? You guys tried. I'll give you half a point. Here we go. Is there a lot of information out there about sex?
What's up?
Is there a lot of information out there about sex? Where's it at?
Web.
He said the web. What do you mean the web? Porn?
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Show of hands, is there a lot of information everywhere out there about sex?
Yeah.
Show of hands.
Wikipedia.
Bam! All of you failed. Why?
So it's all the same everywhere.
Nope, say it.
Because the Bible's the only thing that says what you can do during sex.
You got to sum this up. Sum it up.
It's not information, it's misinformation.
99% of everything that you see out there, whether it's in song, in videos, in porn, it's misinformation. That sapper training you guys are getting, it's misinformation. They're lying to you. Right or wrong? The only place there's information about sex is in the Bible. Man, I've had sappers approach me and tell me this is great information, and what I'll tell you later. I got to move. I don't think anybody got that right.
I said the Bible.
You raised your hand too when I said, "Is there misinformation or information out there?"
Nah, because I said the Bible. I thought, if there's out there, the Bible is out there, isn't it? You're wrong.
Okay, who created sex and who was sex created for? Who created sex and who was sex created for?
God and Adam and Eve, whatever.
Only Adam and Eve, so animals can't have sex?
Started with them.
Well, Adam and Eve ain't around anymore, so who's sex created for now?
Only for us.
Huh?
We get married. For us, when we get married.
So married folks?
Yeah.
Nope. Well, I'll give you half a point because God created sex. But who did he create sex for? Come on.
Created it for reproduction for the living creatures.
That's why, but not who. Go ahead, tell him, Christopher. What'd you say?
After mankind.
Nope, again.
Remember.
That's a -2. Who did God create sex for?
Mammals.
Say it again. Say it again.
No.
No, it's not just mammals. Animals can have sex, humankind can have sex, but who did God create sex for?
Man.
Hmm?
Man and woman.
No. You know who he created sex for? No, God created sex for people who know him. Because when you know him, then you understand what sex is about. If you don't know God, you're experimenting with something that you don't know the intent of it or none of it. I'll explain when we get to the anatomies. Does that make sense? God created sex for people who know him, and the more you know God, the more you're going to understand what he was thinking when he created our anatomies the way he did. And it's like, wow. You'll see. Does that make sense? Bridget, you hadn't said anything. How you doing on this test?
Not good.
All right. So here we go. Number 4. Generally speaking, let's just tone it down a little bit. Do guys really like girls? Generally speaking. Do guys like girls? Just generally speaking.
I would say yes, but a lot of them, like especially in our generation now, it's like if you get played one time by a girl or someone who you actually like, then you become a hoe and you just run around.
I mean,
as much hard as you can.
okay, so he said yes, and then he went on and he kind of explained some things, but absolutely without a shadow of a doubt, I'll come back to that. Generally speaking, do guys like girls?
I'm kind of gaming the game here, but like, no, they don't like girls. They like the act that can be provided by them.
Close. You're a little bit closer. Do guys like girls? You don't like girls?
Then you can turn the question on me like that.
Generally speaking, guys are attracted to girls, and we think we like girls. We're attracted to girls. I mean, I could ask, when did you first start noticing girls? I think I noticed girls when I was in kindergarten and first grade. I did. I had a crush on my aunt.
Everybody had a crush on their mom.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Right? Go ahead.
I was going to say, guys don't really like girls. They like being pleased themselves.
See, here's the catch-all. The question is, do guys really like girls? And we fall for it and say, yes, we do. No, we don't. Because if we really like girls, why do we treat girls the way we treat them? Exactly what you're talking about. Who do we really like?
Ourselves.
We like ourselves. Which is, I have a need. I'm horny. I have an itch. And so because I've got this itch, I need this scratch. I got to go do something. And so we use a girl for that. Whether it's porn or booty call or something like that. Does that make sense? So guys, we're kind of lost. Kind of what you're talking about. Kind of what you're talking about too. And so we use girls because I'm just horny. It's just an act. And this is bad. Making sense? All right. Here's a number 5. What are your thoughts about a threesome? What are your thoughts about a threesome? Okay. You've never in your life thought about a threesome.
Yeah, thought about it.
Okay, at least he's thought about it. I appreciate your honesty. Thoughts about a threesome?
Yes.
He says, in my experience. What are your thoughts about a threesome? If we thought about it. Now watch. If everybody pay attention. If I can show you in the Bible that God supports a threesome, would you be interested?
No.
Yes.
Maybe.
But you can't.
It is.
Wait. What are your thoughts about a threesome?
I was trying to find the verse right now, but to keep the marriage.
That's in Hebrews. But wait, stop. Wait, let me explain something. Wait, because I need to clarify. The threesome that I'm talking about, is not Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. What'd you say? That's weird.
It's right there.
The threesome that I'm talking about is you, your spouse, and God. Which one were you talking about?
Two girls.
Which one were you talking about?
Say guy.
You're a hoe.
Guy, girl, guy, girl. And it was like, oh yeah, that's the one I was thinking about too. The Bible supports that kind of a threesome. You, your spouse, and God. You want God to be a part of your sexuality. You want Him there. Wait till we get to the anatomies and maybe in the Song of Solomon, if I get that to the spirit realm, what happens when God shows up in your bedroom chamber? It's a powerful, amazing thing. I'll get there. Here we go. So, you guys aren't doing too good. I told you these are all curveball questions. All right? Okay. Best sex you'll ever have. Best sex you'll ever have. You had your hand up. What? Married sex? No, not necessarily. Best sex.
God approved.
See, did you know this already?
You said this a few weeks ago.
See, most people, when I ask this question, no, he's exactly right. It's God-approved sex. Because if it's God-approved sex, then it means there's no consequences except for blessings, right? But the problem when I ask this question, best sex you'll ever have, you should see guys' eyes. Guys, oh, those twins. Those twins. Those goats. The midgets. The hobbits, buddy. And then I've had a major in here, he said post-deployment sex. I've had people in here say makeup sex and things like this, or virgin sex or wedding night sex and stuff like that. None of that's true. None of that's true, because I know guys and women who were virgins on their married night, and they messed some things up. They did a lot of damage. I know Christians who are doing damage in their bed. And so they're bringing sin into their relationship, into their bedroom chamber. And so it's the best sex you'll ever have is God-approved sex, because if it's God-approved, it's guilt-free. All right? This begs the next question. What percentage of your sexual history is God-approved?
0.0000.
What percentage of your sexual history is God-approved? What does that mean? Oscar, what percentage?
0.
Are you being honest? Because I had to be honest too. I was like 0. What does that mean? If it's not God approved, what are we talking about now? Say it. It's sinful. And what do we know about the wages of sin? It's some form of death. And so if I look at all my sexual history, 99.9% of it, or just say 100% of it, is sinful, imprinting, damage, pollution. Yes? We okay? Hanser, we okay?
Of course.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Easy question. What are the 3 fundamental purposes of sex?
Reproduce.
Number 1, procreation. You got one.
Bring you closer to love.
Huh?
Marriage, like the two become one flesh. Marriage.
That's number 3. That was really good. Most people don't get that one. I'll come back to that. That's called consummation. So procreation. Go ahead. Recreation. You're supposed to have fun with sex. Chandeliers, disco balls, lights, all that good stuff. You really are. It's okay. It's supposed to be relief. It's supposed to be energetic and healthy for you. It's therapeutic. It really is, in the context of righteousness and godliness. So procreation, recreation, and consummation. Consummation is the one most people don't get. What does consummate mean?
Consummate marriage, like fun.
What does consummate mean?
Fine.
What does it literally mean? Huh? Sort of. Emerge. It literally means take 2 things, con and sum, with and sum, adding 2 things together. And the Latin word is consumare. And so basically, sexually speaking, it means to bring together and perfect what was originally intended. The 2 shall become one. That's what it means. The 2 become one. Whatever you've done with your sex, whether it's watching images of porn, whether it's masturbating, whether it's multiple partners and whatnot, you've become one with that act, with those images, with them people. You're married. That's what consummation means. Make sense? Okay, we're flying through this. Here we go. Number 9, what are the 3 fundamental levels of sex? What? What are the 3 levels of sex?
Physical, spiritual. I don't think 2.
He's got 2 of them. Physical, spiritual. We're missing one.
Emotional.
What's the word for emotional? That's just half of it, though. You're a 3-part being. What are your 3 parts? Body, soul, and spirit. Those are the 3 levels of sex. Every time you have sex on them 3 levels: bodily, soulfully, and spiritually. But wait. What did we say? All of our 100% of our sexual history is not God approved. It's sinful. That means we've got marriages on 3 levels that are all ungodly. Spiritually, ungodly connections. Soulfully, ungodly connections. Bodily, ungodly connections. Making sense? I'll break this down as we go further. Okay, what is adultery?
Looking at a woman lustfully.
Now that's what Jesus said. Legally, make it simple.
Anything out of the marriage, any type of sexual thing out of the marriage.
Okay, sex outside of marriage. Legally, that's what that is. Sex outside of marriage. If someone's married and they have sex outside of marriage, they're committing adultery. Scripturally, say it again.
Looking at a woman lustfully.
Show of hands. Raise your hand if you've never lusted after anyone without lust. So what does that make us?
Oh, adulterers.
Adulterers. Jesus said it. You're an adulterer. What do we call adulterers? A nice street vernacular. Hoe. We're hoes. Sexually. And we're sexual beings. We have sexual urges and we're impatient and we do things. We just do. And so, a lot of people think, and here's the thing, I told you sex marries you. Let's say we got a person, guy A. Guy A was 16 and got married. Now he's 30 years old, but he's not with that girl anymore. He was married to that 16-year-old. Not legally, not ceremonially, but bodily, soulfully, and spiritually, he's married to her. And as soon as he married her, what happened? At 16 and didn't know any better. He's married because sex marries. And then he breaks up with her and goes on to girl B and then girl C and girl D. What's he doing? Well, he's practicing divorce, but he's committing adultery because he never got unmarried from that first relationship. Memories. Wait till we get to the soul. The effect of sex on this right here. Making sense? I'm flying through these. Okay, guys, simple ones. If you know this, don't say anything, guys. What does husband literally mean? Some of the new guys.
Provider, protector.
Listen, say it again.
Provider, protector.
No. Go ahead, tell him, Oscar. The literal definition of a husband. Come on. Say it again. No. What's the literal definition? Go ahead.
Money maker.
This guy right here. Say it one more time.
Money maker.
Say it loud like you know you're right.
Money maker.
No. That's terrible. Go ahead, tell him. Do you know it?
Definition of husband is provider for the partner.
That's pretty good, but that's not even close. You already know it. Do you know it? Wait, how old are you? I'm a husband. What does that make me?
Her bond.
Her bond? Right. What's a husband? Did we talk about this?
I think so.
What is it?
A man who loves his wife.
No. It's a compound word. What is it?
That's hus and band.
Hus and band. What is hus? German word for house. House band.
Band holds it up.
What is a band? What does a band do? That holds things together. That's why they call it a band. They're supposed to stay together. But see, when you guys still do embark and stuff, right? You guys embark? Embark. When you guys packed up to come over here, did you pack up all your stuff and come over here with it? And so you got all these green boxes. They're called embark boxes. And you guys strap, I don't know what you guys call them anymore, but your shipping containers, do you strap and ratchet that stuff down with steel bands? What are the bands for? To keep it together, keep that container together. Right? And so here's the bottom line. You need to understand this. Men, every one of you men in here, you're not women. Women cannot be house bands. This was a job given to men alone. You're called to be the house band. And when a man leaves a house, for whatever reason, leaves a wife and kids behind, what happens to that house? There's your problem right there. What's wrong with America today? Men. And dumb women. I had to throw that in there because somebody's over there just smiling at stupid men. No, but it's men. Men are the problem. It's not women. It's not women. What about these women? Most women. This is what I want to encourage you, men. There's a mantle of leadership placed on your shoulders squarely by God Himself. There's a mantle of leadership placed on your shoulders by God Himself. And if you're any kind of a good man and you're growing in a godly way, and you meet Mrs. Right, if you're growing in the things of God, most healthy women will yield and submit and want to follow you. They want to follow you. Now, if you run into these boss babes, you know, I need a man who can handle this. She's an idiot. Good luck with that. I'm moving on. Passport bros, anybody? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yeah, that's okay. Here we go. Men, what are those two things? You got your sexual organ, you got a penis, but then you got them two things hanging around. What are they called? Cojones. What else they call? Nuts. Huh? What? I didn't know that. Bola. What else they called? Jewels. Huevos. What else? Eggs. Scrotums. Your boys. Your boys. Now, here's the question for you guys. Guys, how old are you? 21. You've had your boys hanging around all them 21 years, right? Why are they called testicles? Because that's the actual medical term for them, testicles. That's biblical too. Why are they called testicles? Don't say nothing. For 21 years, your boys have been there, and you don't even know. Go ahead, tell them. Gabriel, right? How old are you? 23. 23. His boys. Why are your boys called testicles? Testosterone. No. Do you know it?
They test your faith.
Say it.
No.
That's because that is not it. Go ahead, tell them.
Just test your selfishness, I guess.
What? Say it again.
Test your selfishness.
Test your selfishness? Come on.
I have no idea.
How old are you?
19.
19. And see, we're all familiar with our junk. We play with it. We look at it in the mirrors, you know, we're checking ourselves out. And we play with our junk. Don't even know what it is. Anytime you don't know the purpose of a thing, you will abuse it. That's another conversation. I can really talk about that. They're called testicles. Let me give you a clue, some of you guys. Do you know this?
No.
They're called testicles. The root word, it's a Latin word, is testes, the root word of testicles. T-E-S-T-E-S, testes. Pay attention. Companion words that we get from the root word testes, see if you can get the definition now. Testify, testament, testimony, testator, testosterone. These are all related to testes. Testify, testament, testator, testosterone, testimony. What are we talking about? No, not quite. Why? Go ahead.
They're known as witnesses because they witness the act of the other.
They're witnesses. Your testicles are called witnesses. Your gonads are called witnesses. That's why there's two of them. And now, why are they called witnesses?
You got it, bro. Because they see, a witness sees what's happening. I don't know.
You're right, but what?
It sees the act that you perform, whether it's God approved or not God approved.
What
They're a
act?
witness. Sex.
It's not just sex. Why do you, I won't give you the name, but in ceremonies you have to have witnesses. What ceremony am I talking about? Marriage ceremony. Your testicles are witnesses, and they witness that sacred act of sex. They witness the marriage. They witness the marriage. That's what they're there for. When a man and woman are together, or when anytime you have sex, There's a covenant. There's a marriage occurring. I don't care if it's homosexual, lesbian, masturbation. I'll explain in the next class with anatomies. There's a marriage that occurs, and your testicles bear witness. That's why they're called witnesses, because you cannot. That's why your testicles are right there. They're not here. They're not here. Why? If your testicles were here, they couldn't witness the sexual act. That's why God put them right there to witness the thing that marries you. Making sense, Bridget? Does that make sense? Okay. Here we go. Ladies, now let me ask, we've got a handful of women in here. What's the difference in being known and being laid? There is a huge difference. What's the difference? What's being known? What is it to be known? Which one is better, to be known or to be laid? Okay, so what is to be known?
Just asking the ladies right now.
I'm trying to, but they're being difficult. They're clamming up on us. Go ahead, Kylie. You had your hand up.
See, I pretty much remember most of this stuff, but I forgot this one.
Okay.
When someone gets to know you.
That's yes, but you got to go deeper on that one.
So being laid is like just having the act of sex, but being known is like you actually having that bond with that person.
Yes, yes. Okay. Bottom line, and I think I'll cover this later on. To be known, it's a face-to-face act. And so in the Greek, there's a word kaleo and proskaleo. Kaleo means to call. Like Joe, I'm calling him Joe. This is kaleo. But when I get like this, Joe. What's the difference between this and this? Intimacy. It's intimacy. And what to be, if I had to, kaleo, pros means like prostrate, face to face. Proskaleo. Kaleo is kind of like this. Everybody look at this. This is kind of like kaleo, having sex like that. Proskaleo is face to face, calling someone face to face. This is to be known. For the record, this is okay with God. This is okay with all kinds of stuff is okay with God. We'll get to that. The reason why I'm harping on this is because most guys avoid this. They don't want this. Even husbands, and they'll tell their wives constantly, turn around. Interpret what he's saying.
You're not good enough.
I don't want to look in your face.
Too intimate? Say it again.
I don't want to look in your face.
I don't want to look at your face. Why not?
Can't handle that deep connection.
They don't even care about the deep connection they're avoiding it, but what are they more interested in? The act of sex, the physical act of sex. I'm focused on the act of sex, and right now you staring at me, is it really messing my goals up? And most guys are like this because we haven't been trained. Whereas this is what's absolutely vital. In fact, that's the same word. When it says to be known, Adam knew Eve. Adam knew her. That's the same word that's used as a Hebrew word. It's called yada. And that's the same word that says be still and know that I am God. Same word. To know God like that and to know your spouse like that. Innermost deep. Very familiar, very acquainted. Okay? There's more. Besides the big three, what's wrong with premarital sex? So what I usually tell people, when I have this conversation with people out there on the streets or whatever, I've learned that I cannot say premarital sex is a sin. That's STDs and pregnancies. Those are the big three. Because if I say it's a sin, people today say, well, I don't care. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in sin. Now what you got? What about STDs? Penicillin, meds, condoms. What about unwanted pregnancy? Morning after pill, abortion, what? And so they don't even want to talk about this. And so most of the information I'm going to give you right now, as we go over this stuff, I put all that to the side. I can talk circles around all of this stuff about the sin of sex. I can make a strong case for it. Don't have to, though. The data I'm going to show you is going to be quite conclusive. Abstain from sex, sinful sex. All right? What's your sexuality worth? Price tag.
Well, what do you mean sexuality? Like straight?
Just your junk, everything. Your sexuality.
Pretty good price tag.
$10.
Nah, billions.
Billions of dollars. Are you sure? He said billion. That's a lot. What do you think sexuality is worth? See, go ahead. He says everything. Everything? He said,
Worth the life of the Son of God.
worth the life of Jesus Christ? That's pretty lofty. Can't argue with that. That's pretty good.
Worth life and death. Kind of talk about how
Sure.
sin and
Yeah, I agree with all of this. But see, it's real easy for all of us to say, it's $1 billion. What'd you say? Everything. It's real easy to say that. But if that's true, first of all, we don't believe that. Because if we believe that, why are we doing this cheap stuff with our sex? We're hypocrites. I ran into a girl in the mall years ago. My wife and I were in California, and I sat down at the bench with a female missionary friend of mine, and Sandy and a bunch of other ladies went shopping and whatnot. And we sat down, and there was this lady sitting next to us, and she's 35 years old, Hispanic lady, and she began to tell us, because I asked her questions about God and stuff, and she said, I just got saved a year ago. I was up on a mountain retreat, and I OD'd, and the ambulance came pick me up, and in the ambulance going down that mountain, the Spirit of God showed up in the ambulance and legit showed me my worth. And she said, when God revealed to me my worth, it changed everything. And she said, so then I got baptized, I got saved, I'm being discipled, I'm in church, and I'm growing in the Lord. She said, but my problem now, I have 3 daughters. She says, when I was in high school, I dropped out of high school because of early pregnancy. My oldest daughter dropped out of high school because of early teen pregnancy. My second daughter dropped out of high school because of early teen pregnancy. My 14-year-old daughter just started dating a senior. What is she concerned about? And she's just praying and crying, said, I just want, if I could just have one of my daughters make it through high school. You know, I'm begging for God to let this happen, but now she's dating a senior, and I don't know what to do. I promise you, as God is my witness, about that time, the mom is Hispanic and brunette. This 14-year-old comes walking up to me, and she has something in her hand, and she's with a blonde friend, classmate. So the 2 girls are walking up to me. I say, hey, what's that in your hand? First words, I don't know who she is. What's that in your hand? She said, it's a cell phone. I said, what'd you pay for that cell phone? She said, that's about $50. I said, I'll give you $1 for that cell phone right now. She said, no. $2, no. $3, no. $4, no. $5, final offer, take it or leave it. She said, why would I sell you my cell phone? It's worth more than that. I said, so you're not going to sell it to me? She said, no, it's worth more than $5. No. I said, what's your sexuality worth? And she was puzzled. She was like, what? What is your sexuality worth? She said, I don't know. And I said, how is it that you know the stupid value? You know the stupid value of that stupid phone, and you won't compromise and sell it for less than what it's worth, but you don't know the value of your sexuality. Anything wrong with this? And she was like, I never thought of it like that. I said, I'll tell you what it's worth since you don't know. I understand you're dating a senior right now. And this guy's going to tell you he loves you. Most guys will try to do that, tell you, because he's after one thing. But if he really loves you, I'll tell you what it's worth. It's worth a ring and his life. That's what your sexuality is worth. And man, she's crying, mom's crying. We prayed with them the whole night, and she was like, well, I wish you were my pastor, type of stuff. But see, here we are. We'll sit there and quickly say my sexuality is priceless. But does our record show that we believe that? Any hypocrites in here?
All of us.
Yeah. All right, last one. What's permissible in sex? That'll be the last question we cover.
What does permissible mean?
What's allowed in sex? What can I do in sex? Can I have some hobbits in there?
If
You apply once you're married.
Is that permissible? Do I have to be married?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So what's permissible?
Marriage. Everything.
Well, you know what I'm asking some questions here, and you guys, we'll get there. right now you don't want to ask. Because some people want to, what about oral? What about anal? What about, tools and bells and whips and chains? What about cosplay? I've had people ask this. It's okay. I promise you, we can answer all your questions. I'm going to give you guys know where land nav is concerned when you have triangulation. You guys know what triangulation is? You have 3 points on a map. If you can find 3 points on a map, you can cross-reference right where you're at, pinpoint right where you're at. Right? We're going to triangulate, and you're going to figure this out. So if you're going to say, can we watch porn? Can we have multiple partners? Can we share? All this. We'll watch. You'll see. Okay, so let's go ahead and stand up real quick. That's part 1 is done. We flew through that with pretty good timing. Throwbacks real quick. Throwbacks. What'd you get from the sex test?
I already did that before that.
What'd you get from the sex test? Go.
We all hoes.
We're definitely a bunch of hoes. Yeah, what'd you get?
I don't know. I like.
Did it make sense?
Yes.
Did it make you think?
Yes.
Did it make you take a step back and say, okay, maybe I need to probably, I don't know as much as I thought I knew?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think, Oscar?
We're all stupid.
You just saying that? Or did you guys get open a little bit?
I was open.
Okay.
With the names.
Yeah.
I like the test.
Wait till we get to the anatomies. That's good. You were paying attention. I love it.
The word, what's the word again? Proscalypto? What is it?
Proscaleo.
Proscaleo.
Proscalypto.
Yeah,
what
I
the
don't-
heck?
But yeah, that's pretty good. Kaleo is like those.
Call is
explain
like
it better,
call is
but
like
it
you
was
call an
pretty good.
animal.
Yeah,
Proscaleo is
yeah,
face to
yeah,
face.
yeah.
Prostrate.
Translator.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's my translator?
Say again.
What does testicles actually mean?
What does testicles mean?
Witness.
Your boys. They're witnesses. That's why there's 2 of them. What are you gonna say? Hang on, guys. Hang on.
So I knew about the threesome, and I knew about body and spirit, but I still don't understand soul. So I'm interested to learn more.
Oh yeah, that's the soul is probably one of the biggest classes I teach. Out of everything I teach, it's the most fundamental class, and everyone needs to at least get some information to start thinking about this stuff. What?
For me, it was just it was a good refresher. To be honest, it's been a minute since I've.
Yeah, good.